Hello and welcome back here at Inter. We have the Champions League draw done and dusted, and here are the teams that Inter has got to face soon enough in 10 days' time. We don't know the dates yet, but we know it's Liverpool away, Real Madrid at home, Club Brugge at home, Borussia Dortmund away, Shakhtar at home, Feyenoord away, Stuttgart at home, and Bratislava away. I'm not alone. I'm here, joined to share the excitement by two new friends, two new faces wherever you're Inter TV is
Björk Reiter, I'm introducing myself, and
Matteo Nigra. Hello, everyone.
so yeah, it's our first time. It's a debut for us, for me and Matteo. And speaking about Champions League, it's a dream come true to be working for Inter first of all, and then speaking about the greatest competition that is in Europe. You already talked about the teams that we are going to face. The excitement is going to be, especially if we speak about Liverpool, Real Madrid playing at the Bernabeu, which is very special for Inter fans if we go back to that final in back in 2010. Yeah, every game is tough. We saw it last season with Kairat Almaty, that everybody thought, oh, this is an easy team to beat. And it wasn't that way. So it's the Champions League. It's going to be very, very special. And it's starting in a matter of days, like 10 days, I think.
10 days. So we don't have the dates yet, as I said. It should be from 8th, 9th, 10th September. And then we'll show you the calendar later on. Matteo, how excited are you to be here, of course, after probably the biggest announcement that we can have this season? Champions League is such a very important competition to be part of. But also, what's the team that excites you the most, or and for the many reasons that you may have?
I'm extremely excited to be there. You know, Inter is, I think, over the last years, the major representative of Italian football around Europe. Inter joined twice the final over the last 4 years, and so it is the greatest team in Italy right now. I think that Real Madrid is the team that excites me the most because of Jose Mourinho, because of Denzel Dumfries returning back, facing his former teammates. Today, Marcus Thuram told that he would have loved to face Denzel Dumfries again, and they will meet each other. So I'm a go Real Madrid.
Now, I forgot to introduce you properly, actually, because both of you, I guess, are going actually to follow the teams in this jam-packed calendar that is going to be between Serie A and the Champions League. Which city excites you the most out of the ones that we are going to travel to?
Well, there is Madrid, there is Dortmund, there is Rotterdam and Bratislava. So I would say Madrid is the prettiest one. I've been there once and I loved it. And I also went to the Bernabeu tour that they do for the fans and stuff. And I think also Bratislava, being a capital of Slovakia, underrated. I think it's very. I think it's a nice city to visit. But all four cities, I think, when you go back to Rotterdam and Dortmund, it's going to be a little bit cold, especially if we face them in November or December. But if I have to choose one, I would go with Madrid as my top pick. Yeah, definitely.
You have to know, guys, that these guys, so he is Italian, but he comes from probably the northernest region in Italy, very cold with the Alps from Aosta. So he's kind of the Norwegian in the group. And he's actually from Albania. And so do you want to say hello to the Inter Club Albania?
Yeah, Inter Club Albania. Hello, everybody. I know you are like the biggest Inter Club there is in Europe. And you have one of us here, an Albanian, speaking directly to you and all the Inter fans around the world.
Hello also to the Nerazzurri in Aosta Valley, so Nicolas, my friend, and the other Nerazzurri hearts in Aosta Valley. I know you're a lot and you will follow the team just like me this season.
But which city? So you're not afraid of being in the cold, I guess.
No, actually, no. I think I'm going to go to Dortmund in order to follow the team against Borussia, a tough opponent. And I don't think it's a particularly great city to visit it. But speaking from the football side, well, you have the yellow wall.
Yellow wall.
It makes a huge honor to follow the team and to be following the team in this stadium, the Westfalen Stadium.
Let's look at it team one by one, each team. So I will obviously start from Liverpool. It's a bit special now to to consider Liverpool as our opponents is obviously we just have had Curtis Jones joining the team. We saw him around here today, and it's different, when it's not somebody who just did a season or two there. That's his whole life.
He spent his whole life.
His whole life.
It's his first transfer to a team. He never experienced going to another city or playing for another club. And now he's playing for Inter, and immediately fate comes to him like that, and he's going to play against Liverpool. He's playing at the San Siro, so he won't go back to Anfield. That would have been extremely romantic if we want. But he's still playing against Liverpool. If we want to speak from a football point of view, it has changed a lot because this year they have a new coach in Andoni Iraola, the Spaniard, that's done pretty much amazing stuff with Bournemouth in the last 3 seasons. Other players that I can think about, I want to see Alexander Isak this year because last season he was quite unlucky with all the injuries, but I think still he remains one of the top strikers in Europe. And then the defense this year, they have also Araujo from Barcelona added to Van Dijk, which is already one of the best defenders there is. It's going to be a tough game, but I think we have to get some revenge because the last time they were at the San Siro, it was not that pretty for us.
No, it was not. But also, it's clear to everyone that last season they had huge transfers. Yeah, and maybe they haven't benefited from that as much as they would have. So probably we're going to see that real progression from them this season. What do you think?
I totally agree. Last year they bought for over 500 million euros Hugo Ekitike, Alexander Isak, as Björk told, Milos Kerkez, another Hungarian player alongside Dominik Szoboszlai. This year they bought Victor Munoz, interesting player from Osasuna from La Liga. So I will say that with Iraola, their team has bettered off a lot. Shifting just like Ibrahima Konate and Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool to Real Madrid, who spent a lot this year. They bought Jan Diomande from Leipzig for over 100 millions. Denzel Dumfries, as we told, from Inter, and many players just like Konate this year, last year, Hausen and Alexander-Arnold. Real Madrid, is one of the best teams in Europe, the team that has the record for winning Champions League. They have 15 in their trophy cabinet. They are just amazing, with a manager that is particularly linked with Inter.
Real Madrid, not just a matter of Denzel Dumfries, there's a lot starting from the coach.
Yeah, Jose Mourinho. It's the hero of the treble. 2010, he leads Inter to probably the best year of Inter's history. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to turn up, Mourinho and Real Madrid in 2026, because he's had a lot of clubs in the last years, Benfica, Fenerbahce, not like big teams, if we want to see it that way. But now Florentino Perez was like, okay, let's give him another chance, because it's Jose Mourinho. Even though the years pass by for everybody, he's still the special one. Like they called him for the first time in London, where he was at Chelsea. He is a special one. For us at Inter, he's even more special. And then Denzel Dumfries, immediately facing Inter, just like Marcus Thuram wanted today to face him and to meet him once again.
He wanted it. He just wants to see him. They're very good friends.
He just wants to meet him up once again. But
we can't play a game though. Yeah, against each other. Yeah, Kivu and Mourinho though they go a long way back, like you were saying. So. Maybe Kivu knows one or two things about Mourinho, how he reacts to certain things that happen during a game. Kivu is always on about how you can manage events and situations during a game rather than just prepare for that game and not be adaptable.
Yeah, I agree. I think Mourinho has evolved a lot during the years from 2010 when he was managing Inter. 16 years have passed, 16 years since Kivu was a player of Jose Mourinho. Now they're opponents on the benches of Real Madrid and Inter respectively. I think Mourinho evolved a lot from a football point of view, but from the mental point of view, from the psychology, I think no one is better than Mourinho. No one has been better than the special one, as Björk told.
But still,
it's
speaking
about how you react.
Yeah.
The game itself. It's I mean, some of the greatest, like even Guardiola had some rough days in
Yeah.
the last couple of years,
Absolutely.
I would say. So
We've seen it in the last days, even the documentary about him that has some very interesting stuff inside. Just like you said before, Kivu is not only a good coach when it comes to preparing a game. We remember the 2 games against Como last season and the 2 wins. It was not only a tactical thing. It was not only beating them from a tactical point of view. It's getting into their minds and making them feel in danger at the San Siro and even at the Senigallia. And that's where Kivu can work a lot against Mourinho. Knowing him very well, maybe he knows what could bother Mourinho, how to get inside his head. The mind games are important too in Champions League football, especially.
I think one of the best qualities of Kivu, and I can only speak highly of him, I must say, as a man, is his charisma. And to have charisma, you need to be so confident in yourself. And you need to infuse confidence. I think that's what he does. And you perceive that when you're next to him. It's just like you feel that the room is red and you can just express your potential. And I think that's probably one of the best qualities of Coach Kivu. Maybe Mourinho does the same, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is different. He plays with your mind, I think.
He does a lot. He does a lot.
Elena, you're talking about charisma. Well, I think that for Kivu, being managed by Mourinho has given a lot of help to the Romanian manager.
Let's move on to the next team, Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, Borussia Dortmund. So we faced them just last year. Borussia Dortmund had 4 Italian teams to face last season in the Champions League. They had a very pyrotechnical match against Juventus, a 4-4. It ended at the very end. Then the game against Inter, the yellow wall was there. It's always intimidating. We know it. But Inter managed to win. A late goal by Andy Diouf closed the match, 2-0 win. And then the double fixture between Borussia Dortmund and Atalanta, with the Bergamaschi winning the whole tie at the end. So they had a lot of Italian experience, and they have a lot of Italian young players. It's strange to think about that, a German team going for Italian youngsters. Matteo, you want to speak about that, right?
Yeah, exactly. There is Luca Reggiani, a great defender who played last year Champions League football. And we know, especially for young Italians, how it is difficult to emerge in our local country. Then there is Samuel Inacio, player who I think Borussia will push over the following season. And maybe we will see him against Inter, against us in the Champions League. Then there is Joe Bellingham. So we're going to say that Inter will play against both the Bellingham brothers, Jude playing for Real Madrid and Joe playing for Borussia Dortmund.
It's the Champions League. Every year something like that happens. Like the
Yeah.
brothers playing against the same team, or maybe, like just we said, for
But we're not going to go into
Jones.
that topic because you know, we
Sure.
have one particular brothers on home soil. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. But even Jones playing against his former team, like
Yeah.
the Champions League every year has these plot twists that I love about the competition.
Any plot twist on Shakhtar?
I think Shakhtar has a very interesting team. I would like to underline Kawa Elias, the young Brazilian player who is a striker and has great numbers in the Ukrainian league. Let's just highlight that Shakhtar will play their home matches in Stamford Bridge in London,
Yeah.
but we will host Shakhtar, so that's not a matter for us.
It's different though, you know, going to London, and for them it's double the opportunity to display themselves.
Yeah.
We've seen it last season with teams like Bodo Glimt, who we won't be facing in this league phase. They are going to go to Napoli.
They are going, together with Vikings. So two
Norway
Norway
is going
teams.
to Napoli. Yeah, sorry. I'm so excited about that. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I was saying, for these, let's say, less renowned teams that have been solid in the Champions League for so many years, is such an opportunity to play big stadiums like that. And they have it twice.
Yeah.
I wonder what's the effect that can have on them.
Oh, that could be, I don't know, that could be dangerous at the same time, and could be actually something that makes them even more excited obviously their fans are going to travel with them. A lot of Ukrainian people already living in England, so I think the stadium will be still packed, even though it's not Chelsea playing at the Stamford Bridge. Still, we'll see some great games, and it's always the same Shakhtar. Things haven't changed in years. It's a mixture between Brazilian players and Ukrainian players, and it's so strange. Every time you think about Shakhtar and the old Shakhtar that had a lot of great players, they had these Brazilian talents. I've never understood why they have this link with Brazil, but there's a lot of players they actually have played during their career with Shakhtar Donetsk. Yeah.
Yeah, there is Douglas Costa, there
Yeah.
was William, Luis Adriano scored many goals at Shakhtar, not in Milan, playing for AC Milan. Now there is Kau Elias that maybe will make his jump to the Premier League in the following months, we will see. But the same Shakhtar, we talked about Bodo Glimt, Napoli will face Bodo Glimt and Viking, both at home, so double trip to Italy for the Norwegian fans. We were talking about Bodo Glimt, who won against Manchester City and Atletico Madrid last year. We were talking about, rough days for Pep Guardiola.
Even small countries are evolving, footballly speaking. Even we're playing against Slovan Bratislava, and it's a league that you don't hear about a lot, the Slovakian league, personally. But in the last years, a lot of football leagues that we are not used to hear from are coming to the Champions League. It's a bigger Champions League, 36 teams, which means you're going to play against a lot of teams that have never participated this year. It's Saba from Azerbaijan, they have never played. Como from Italy, it's the first time for them. Lask from Austria, and even Viking from Norway. So first participations for Bratislava is the second time. So imagine, for not even the second, I think it's like the third time for them in the Champions League. So it gives the opportunity to smaller countries to showcase their clubs. In this case, Slovakia with Slovan Bratislava. It's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be tough, not that easy as it seems.
I agree with him. The new format has brought that home with new teams, with finding out about new cultures, new players. I mean, last year with the Norwegians, of course, it continued the Norwegian topic and the theme even through the World Cup, of course.
Yeah.
And
with the Viking row, right?
But they won't do it. Bodo Glimt are not going to do that.
Don't.
Do you think?
They don't do that.
It's
No.
more a
Maybe.
country thing.
They want to.
Who
They
knows?
Want, I was looking at the lineup for Viking, and most of them are Norwegian, so they might.
Imagine that happening at the Maradona. All people going like that.
I can't wait. We suggested that they'll just do it for us.
They will do it for us. The Inter channel. Yes.
It's their stadium is like 15,000 people. It's not. Probably.
No, it's going to be, I'm pretty excited to see those games too. Like Italian teams, and we're going to speak about that, have some tough games, but even some interesting one, like teams we have never seen before, like Bodo Glimt. We saw it against Inter, but never against Napoli. Viking is the first time they're playing the Champions League. So just like we said, it's the new Champions League that gives the opportunity to many teams that would never had that opportunity in the last in the previous format.
We've missed in Stuttgart. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. The second German team Inter will face Stuttgart, who has many talents from the German country. They have Denis Sundav, who participated to the World Cup in the US with Germany. He scored 3 goals.
Scored quite a lot, yeah.
So he's a great striker. They had Girassi, and Undav has different numbers, but as well, a great striker. Angelo Stiller is a good player. He plays both in the midfield and the attacking side, so I think Inter will have to put an eye on him. What do you think, Bjork?
It's a very promising player. I think Stuttgart surprised everybody last season in the Bundesliga. Nobody was looking at them as potential Champions League qualifiers. There were many other teams that seemed to be going there, but then they finished the league 4th. And surprisingly, I would say, because they didn't have many big names. We said Unza, we said Stiller, we said Girassi, but the rest of the team was a mixture between young players and experienced one, but not very famous, if we want to say. We have, I think, forgotten about Club Brugge, right?
We have.
Yeah, we're just going. just going to speak about that. And Sommer is coming back to play against
Yeah,
Inter.
yeah. That's the big buzz about our
Yeah.
game. But not only that.
No, not only that, we have also Italian-German. I don't know how to say what to say about Nicolò Tresoldi. He's actually Italian, but he plays for Germany under 21 team. So he's still waiting for Italy to call him up. Is that gonna happen? I don't know, but he's still the best player for them. He's had a tremendous season, and last season, together with him, a good friend of Tresoldi was Alexander Stankovic, that is playing for Inter. He came back, so the colors are always the same, but this time we'll see Stankovic with our team playing against his former team.
Now, we said we picked Liverpool from England. I have a friend who's not far from Liverpool. He's called Richard Hall. Have you met him before? This is your chance. Richard, are you there?
I certainly am. How are you guys? It's nice to meet you both, by the way, and good to see you again, Eleanor.
Good to see you back. Are you buzzing? What's the excitement of seeing Liverpool facing Inter again?
I think so. You guys have touched on quite a lot of it in the sense of the narratives when you talked about the Mourinho factor, the Jan Sommer Stankovic factor with Bruges. You know, we've got it all there, but the Curtis Jones obviously hosting Liverpool, it's always an exciting one. I think with Inter, with the group they have, obviously Real Madrid and Liverpool stand out. We know that. But when you look at Liverpool at the moment, whilst they've, as the guy said before, heavily invested last season, this season under Areola, there's a lot of question marks in the UK about how they're going to perform. The opening day of the season, 2-2 against Newcastle, asked quite a lot of questions. It's early days. But it will be interesting because Liverpool will evolve during the season. There's no doubt about that. But at this moment in time, there certainly are some questions. And for Curtis Jones, as you alluded to before, again, you know, this is his boyhood club. This is his life, basically. All his friends and family will be Liverpudlians. So it's a really exciting tie. The game will surely be an exciting one. But I still think it's something that Inter can manage as well. You know, Inter the squad's improved. It can go deep into the season. They proved that, last season with the Coppa Italia run and the run in the Champions League. So the early fixtures will be super exciting, especially with the big clubs. So yeah, I think there'll be fireworks with that one. One thing I wanted to add though was that when you look at the games that are at San Siro, obviously are going to bring amazing atmospheres. We're going to Dortmund, amazing atmosphere. The keep when we play Feyenoord, that'll be a brilliant atmosphere. Everything looks like it's going to be just electric. So yeah, I'm really excited about the draw.
Yeah, especially when you look at teams such as like Dortmund and Feyenoord. You said it already. The atmosphere there is electric. Inter knows something about that because we played against Borussia Dortmund just last year and we even won 2-0. Feyenoord just 2 years ago, the last Champions League, they even got to beat an Italian team. They defeated AC Milan in Rotterdam, and that's how tough it is to play in that stadium. And then Inter luckily will manage to defeat them. And how tough do you think it will be for Inter to play these kind of games away from home?
I think when you look at Inter, I think Italian football in general, I mean, when you go into, obviously you're playing in San Siro week in, week out, you know, you look at the pressure of doing that. The players are used to it. They're also used to, under Kiva, which is most importantly, winning tournaments, the Scudetto and the Coppa Italia, obviously. Going to those atmospheres, I think that the team we have, it will elevate them rather than worry them. I mean, we've got to think that these teams go to the Maradona, they go to Stadio Olimpico, they're used to these sort of atmospheres. And, you know, from experience of European football, Italian football especially, and again, you know, when you look at some of the English atmospheres, Italian atmospheres are really up there. So I don't think it's going to be something that will hamper our progress. More than likely, as we've seen before with our players, is it normally raises the levels. So yeah, I mean, it's always great when you're watching the games to see these amazing atmospheres. But I don't think it'll knock our performances in any way, shape, or form.
Hi Richard, Matteo here. Just wanted to ask you, what do you think about the players that Inter took away from the Premier League? So Curtis Jones from Liverpool, Jet Spence from Tottenham, and John Stones from Manchester City. They are, I think, top level players from top teams. What do you think about it?
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk in the UK about this. It's been a real, a real one for the media because a lot of teams in the UK were looking for John Stones. He had a fantastic World Cup. Arsenal and Chelsea were both linked very heavily with him, and he came to Inter, and it was quite a lot of excitement, really. For me, John Stones, I think the way he plays, the way that he can play in defensive midfield, but also on either side of those, in a back three on either side of the main centre back, that idea that he can come forward into midfield, he can make those runs. We saw that in pre-season. I think he's going to fit into that system so well. Also, as well with John Stones is the character. He's a leader. Tactically, Guardiola's already talked about how tactically astute he is. So for Italian football, I think he'll fit straight in. But for Inter, I think he's a serial winner as well. So I can't speak highly enough of that signing, especially getting him on a free. He's got quite a few years left in him. I think the same. Curtis Jones was definitely an eye opener because no one really expected him to leave Liverpool at one point, even though there've been rumblings. Again, with him as a player in that midfield, playing in that sort of a three, if you would, the way that he can transition the ball, he's exceptionally talented at doing so. He's 1-2 touch, go. And I think that the way that Inter play, he'll slot in really, really quickly. And I think with Curtis Jones, will probably be, whilst in my opinion, he won't be doing anything amazingly spectacular, will become very, very reliant on what he does. He does the simple things exceptionally well. And finally, Jed Spence. Look, Inter needed a player in that position. And when Jed Spence originally went to the World Cup, for English eyes, there was a few raised eyebrows. And there was a lot of talk about Thomas Tuchel being quite harsh on him. But he did, under the pressure, he was one of our standout performers in the World Cup. So for him, with his pace and ability, I think that he will certainly learn a lot at Inter and really, really come on. But it's great to see, from a personal point of view, more and more English players going abroad. I think in Serie A at the moment, the British players, I think we're up to 25. So it's good to see that amount there. And I think out of all those 25, Inter have probably got 3 of the best.
Listen, I don't want to see you in Como. And do you know why I'm saying this?
No, that worries me. Why?
Because I know Como is one of your favorite cities, and you just picked a PSG to play the Senigallia. So don't do that. I know I'm saying this because we're going to introduce, of course, what are the other Italian teams have drawn just recently, just before we went on air. And Como, they drew PSG.
Yeah.
How exciting is that for you, Richard? Just very quickly before we let you go.
Yeah, if you're talking about, Como, Paris, it's just a luxury fixture, for want of a better word. So I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Seeing Nico Paz up against the Paris Saint-Germain and Fabregas pitting his wits against them, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It'll be, as I said, as luxurious in the flesh watching it would be on paper. So, yeah, I think that's one of the fixtures of the round.
Thank you, Richard. I will let you go. We'll continue with Como's opponents. Who wants to go next?
I'm going with the Como opponents. So it's PSG, we said it. It's going to play Senigallia. An English team that's going to face Como is going to be Manchester United. They came back this year at Champions League. And then there's Leipzig and Athens. And then Como is traveling to some very nice destinations, by the way. The first one being Barcelona. And it's going to be quite a romantic one if we think about Cesc Fabregas. He was a former Barcelona team, and he's from Barcelona. He's from Catalonia. So I think he feels this game quite a lot. Another Spanish team for Como playing against Real Betis. They will face also final, just like Inter, in Rotterdam. And then at the very end, they will travel up to the north of France against Lens.
Going with Roma, also they will face Real Madrid at home, so a former club from Jose Mourinho and the current club for the special one. They will face Sporting at home, the Portuguese side, then Lille at home, a match that was played last year in Europa League, now is valid for the Champions League football, and then Slovan, just like Inter. Then Roma will travel to Paris in order to face Paris Saint-Germain, the current Champions League winners, Champions League owners. Manchester United, so Manchester United at Old Trafford against Roma, particularly significant match for these two teams. Fenerbahce in Turkey, so Roma will face a particularly electric atmosphere in Turkey to former clubs from the special one. As Bjork mentioned, there's always a story to tell in the Champions League, and as like last match for Roma, they will go to Athens in order to face AEK Athens. Not an easy match for them, a particularly high atmosphere and hot atmosphere, as we told, but I think Roma will manage to play good matches against those opponents.
And then if you look at Napoli, maybe
Napoli.
they have a different kind of a vibe to their group.
Yeah,
We already
totally.
mentioned the 2 games with Bodo Glimt and Viking at home. What about the rest?
So they played the Maradona against Arsenal, so another English team. They will play just like Inter against Club Brugge, but they are facing them at Maradona. Porto Glimt and Viking, so 2 Norwegian teams traveling to Naples. And then where is Napoli going to travel to? Manchester City, so they're traveling to England to face Manchester City. Then Porto, Villarreal and Sabah, so they will have a long flight up to Azerbaijan, and they are also going to face, like we said, Porto and Villarreal. So 2 very different teams, 2 very different atmospheres. If you go to the Dragao, it's electric, but even the stadium, the Villarreal stadium also, and the season they had last season, coming up 3rd in the La Liga, which is one of the toughest leagues. You have Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid all the year facing each other for the title, and Villarreal was just there. They were quite silent about it, and then they popped up in third position. So even Napoli has different vibes. You said it correctly. It's quite different from the other teams. They will have some Viking row. So we said that.
Rowing.
Yeah, the rowing. The Norwegians, are they going to do it at Naples? Let's see. That would be pretty funny, I would
I know
say.
you mentioned about the long haul journeys that they have. I'm hoping, I'm being a bit nasty now, but I'm hoping it comes because we faced them on first. We faced Napoli just before our first match day in the league phase, and on January 27, the last match of the league phase, we'll face them straight after. So maybe one of those 2 matches for them will be the one in Azerbaijan, and we'll face a tired Allegri.
That would be quite interesting, and that's the 4th match day of the Champions League. It's going to be a tough one. I really hope there's not Real Madrid there in the middle, because it will be between the derby against Milan and Como.
Yeah, that would be absolutely stunning to play Real Madrid just next to the derby in Milan and next to the Como game. Stunning,
opposite.
but we're not hoping for it.
Stunning is being sarcastic.
from
It'll be stunning
from a
Stunning
schedule point of
result.
view, but I think it will be particularly difficult. So we're not hoping for it.
This has been stunning. I'm looking forward to know who we play when. I want to know who we start. I'm hoping Liverpool earlier on rather than later on. So everything is still
before they start to
picking things up and getting what they've got to do to beat us or to do well, let's say.
Yeah, I think that would be a nice strategy facing them right now, because they have some struggles even against Newcastle in the Premier League in the last match day. They just drew it at the last minute, so Ola still has a lot of work to do. Maybe facing them right now would be the right thing to do, because then British teams, Premier League sides, as the season goes on, they start feeling better, energetically speaking, and it's going to be tough. When it comes to Real Madrid, every time you face them, it's either if it's August or
doesn't make a difference.
or Christmas or whatever time of the season, it's going to be tough
Just
at the
have to do
Bernabeu.
it. Just go through it.
You have to do
Whatever,
it.
just do it. Okay, thank you, guys. It's been amazing having you here. Big contribution to the team. Have you had fun?
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, we had fun. We should do this again.
We will do this
Another
again.
draw, come on.
We got a lot of matches going on. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching us. Goodbye.